At this moment, everyone saw Romeo Point was nearby. They quickly set up defenses, ready to sneak in. As they searched, they realized this place was completely abandoned, looking like it hadn't been touched in decades. The child soldier and his buddy stumbled upon it. They opened the box to find a broken radio inside and waited for the group to regroup. Amu informed the team that their mission here was actually to find the missing squad members. This area is considered cursed by the Vietnamese, so they could search without worries. Dodge Ewing inquired which regiment the missing squad was from. Amu responded it was the 53rd Regiment, and the cameraman was too. However, questioned, he claimed not knowing the previous squad. They split into two to search, with the Mus team staying to investigate. Chen Shang leader took his team outside, while Coffin Guy suddenly needed to use the restroom. After finishing his snack and turning around, he found he was all. Coffin Guy panicked like a fly in a hot skillet, calling out for Chen Shang's team. Suddenly, he saw shadow flash behind him, thinking it was him. He immediately chased after it, but the team ahead seemed to completely ignore his calls. They continued to march forward without looking back. Coffin Guy hurried after them and noticed the last team member's helmet had "Wait for me" written on it. He whispered, asking why they weren't waiting for him, but the team remained unfazed and strangely squatted down. Unable to understand, Coffin Guy squatted down too, but oddly, they all mysteriously vanished the moment they did. Now Coffin Guy was confused, thinking he was ditched, and started to wail like a child looking for his mom. He desperately hoped someone would respond. Soon after, while searching the area, Amu received a message from Chen Shang that they had no idea where Coffin. Amu advised them not to go wandering off. This was stressing everyone out since they hadn't found those from the previous team, and they might lose their own members first. Then both teams stumbled upon an abandoned stone temple, and since neither group introduced themselves, they almost ended up in a brawl. Luckily, they recognized each other in time and regrouped to search for Coffin Guy. At this moment, they discovered a bundle of burning incense stuck in the rubble. Didn't they say this place was unlucky? Who lit the incense that night? The soldier said Coffin Guy was hiding in a nearby stone structure. Upon return, Coffin Guy shared his experience, but Chen Shang didn't believe it, suspecting he was just creating an atmosphere. Just as he was about to give Coffin Guy a welcome gift, a glowing helmet in the distance was watching them. It clearly wasn't one of their own. Coffin Guy abruptly asked who Uncle Zhu was, because during the day he had seen "Wait for me" written on that man's helmet. Unexpectedly, this angered the other party, who demanded to know how he knew that secret. They were about to take action against Coffin Guy when suddenly, the sound of helicopters roared in. The team immediately got into battle formation as an American team carrying a box approached. Amu rushed over to ask what they were doing here at night. The lead man, a black soldier, replied that they could only come at night because the daytime fog was too thick for their helicopters. What's that all about? Can't see in the day but can see at night? He then explained that they were just there to swap a spare battery. The batteries were kept in a room upstairs, and as long as the Mus team avoided that room, they could pretty much do whatever they wanted elsewhere. After that, the black soldier prepared to leave, reminding Amu to return in 4 days for a battery swap, hoping they'd still be alive. Amu looked confused, and the black soldier added that no one could survive at Romeo Point, not even the locals. Then he cautioned Amu not to touch the stuff again, leaving behind a box of beer before departing. Back in the building, Amu approached the radio operator, who wondered why they couldn't reach it despite the telegraph working fine. He also asked Amu if there were any French troops stationed nearby. This was because he had just received word from a pair of French twins that their troops were stationed close by. When Amu questioned the operator, "Do you speak French?" the guy looked bewildered and replied that he didn't understand a word. So they assumed that the operator must not have slept well last night, and they ignored his mention of the French soldiers. Meanwhile, that soldier with "Wait for me" on his helmet pulled Coffin Guy aside, looking quite anxious. He kept asking Coffin Guy how he knew about Uncle Zhu, but Coffin Guy insisted he just read it on his helmet. The other soldier refused to believe it, and it wasn't until Coffin Guy walked away that he mumbled to himself that the helmet saying "Wait for me" belonged to a member of a missing squad, and their true purpose in coming here was to find those missing members. Back inside, the operator fixed the radio and played uplifting music, instantly shattering the gloom. Everyone couldn't help but start dancing, unaware this would be their final celebration as the green-eyed figure lurked in the shadows, watching. Suddenly, the radio's music ceased, replaced by intense gunfire and screams from the previous squad. Everyone froze in shock, and Amu hurriedly turned off the radio. There was no way they could let their spirits drop now. So, while the chef and the child soldier took watch, the other two started horsing around. Suddenly, a soldier named John Liebing popped out of the bushes, startling the pair. Thunder began rumbling outside, while Amu seemed to see something. A woman in white suddenly appeared near the sandbags. The clinking sound of bells constantly emanated from her, but just as swiftly, she disappeared into the pitch-black night. The next day arrived, and the soldier who was supposed to be on duty at 6 a.m. suddenly reported that John Liebing was missing. Upon hearing this, Chen Shang immediately flared up and kicked John Liebing to the ground. He told John Liebing to find him quickly. But out came a guy whining on the stairs. He requested Coughing Guy to do him a favor and help find him a pretty wife once they return. Just then, a drop of blood fell from the sky, splattering all over the man's face, like a milk carton had been knocked. It was then that they realized John Liebing had somehow ended up hanging from the ceiling since last night, leaving the man speechless. The squad then bagged John Liebing's body, while Amu dropped his name tag. They all found the situation bizarre. There weren't any enemies around, so how could John Liebing have got? As they continued searching the area, they stumbled upon even darker secrets hidden in yesterday's rubble. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel in order to get even more amazing and shocking content.